Good morning to you all. My name is Raghu. I would like to welcome you all to Core Java and Advanced live training session. I hope all of you are having a good day and good to see you guys here. Let's go on and start with the session. Okay. I'm trying to give you a small heads up about me so that you guys know from whom you are learning. Okay. My name is Raghu. I've been working as a software developer for last 13 years, currently working as a lead for the last 5 years. Okay. And coming to the technology stack, as usual, as everyone starts, I started with Core Java currently and worked on Spring Framework, not the Spring Boot that you guys hear recently. So I spent a lot of time on the original Spring Framework and currently working on Spring Boot and Hibernate, JPA, microservices, and some part of React and worked on GCP, okay, Kubernetes. So yeah, these are the technology stack I've been working for the last 1 decade, okay. And I've been leading a team of 10 people for the last 6 years, worked on multiple domains like, insurance, logistics, retail, transportation. As part of my 10 years or 13 years of career, I have mentored the experienced people, okay? And I have trained the freshers. So I strongly feel that I know what, especially the freshers, when they come out of college and they'll join a company. Usually, what happens is they'll go and do some kind of a course, they'll try to learn the technology, okay, and come and join the organization. And funny part is they'll figure out whatever they have learned in the institutes or the training courses or the college, it doesn't really help them. Okay. What they learned in the institutes, what they learned in their college, it's completely different. And when they come to organizations, what they say is completely different, right? So there is a lot of gap in the learning curve. Okay. What you learn in the institutes and the colleges, okay, for example, when we speak of Java, okay, nobody is going to write a public static void main program. Okay. And nobody is going to write a code how you are writing the code in institutes or in colleges. Okay, somebody is doing annotating again. Please, can we disable the annotations? Right. Okay. Where was I? Right. So there is a lot of gap in the learning curve and the practical approach, from the people who are entering into the industry. So what we are trying to do, as part of this training program is to fill up that gap. Before we jump into the actual topic of this session, a small introduction about the organization that we are. Okay. So we are Raj Cloud Technologies. This organization started like 5 years before. Okay. What we do is we train people based on the practical and job oriented approach. Okay. We are not here to tell you guys about the definitions or the textbook approach. Okay. To learn about definitions and to learn about a sample program and interview questions, you don't need to join a particular institute and learn. You can do that on your own. So when you are joining an institute or when you are opting for a training program, the expectation would be, how can I make myself ready for the real industry program, right? So once you finish a particular training course, you should be ready and do some kind of a work, right? So we here at Raj Cloud Technologies, we do not really focus on, mugging up the definitions. You guys are not going to write any more exams, right? You are ready to join the industry. You are going to work there. Okay, nobody is going to come and ask you about the definitions. But there might be cases to clear the interviews, you may need to focus on definitions. That is only 5% of it, right? 95% of people, they look at what is the real technological approach that you guys are having. Okay, so that's what we focus here. And in the last 5 years, we trained more than 10,000 students. When I say students, they include people from different backgrounds. Okay, we trained freshers who are out of colleges. We trained people who are already in the industry. You know, for example, what happens is, like, suppose a particular person is working on a QA automation background. Okay, he's not satisfied with his job profile. He wants to switch to a different technology. He does have industry experience. Okay, but he want to switch to a completely new technology, then he definitely needs some kind of help. So that is where we come in. Okay, that is what we do. So it's not just for freshers, even for the working people also, we have trained. And we can see that almost 70% of our students, they were able to learn the technologies and they were able to crack the interviews. Let me give you a small walk through our website. Okay. So that you will get to know what exactly we are. Okay. You can just come to Raj Informatica website. The reason why this is Raj Informatica, this started with Informatica training. Okay. So Mr. Raj started this organization with Informatica training. Okay. As time passes, we improved as an organization, and we found that there is a lot of gap in other technologies also. So from Informatica, we started offering lot many other courses. Okay, you can come to this particular website and you can see what are all the courses that we are offering now, right? So to start from the bottom, there is a course running on Tableau, Python. If you want to learn AI or ChatGPT, there is a course for there. Okay, it's not just for Informatica and Informatica Cloud, Python full stack, Snowflake, DevOps, which is a buzzword these days, and Power BI, right? And apart from that, like, we are offering courses on the Azure data engineering as well, right? So let's come to the topic of today's training, that is Java, right? So this is the course. I would like to walk through a particular uh, snippets about our course, what we are offering, and how the approach will be. Okay. So for any of you, if you have any queries regarding this course or any other course, you can just, reach out to this number via WhatsApp, right? Based on that, you can inquire about the course and, talk to the support team. You guys can get enrolled. Okay. Just a moment before we run into the actual training program. Okay. Um, So, I just want to give a small snippet. I hope you guys are able to see my notepad document. It's just a small text document. So this course duration will be of 2 months. It is somewhere around like 50 plus hours. Okay. The timings would be like morning 8 o'clock to 9:30 in the morning. Okay. And when it comes to the fee structure, okay, we started this with 30,000, but we are running on a discount as of now. Okay, so the current course fee will be 20,000. Okay, uh, and then what we are offering here, right? So we are going to teach you guys core Java and advanced Java. Okay, and This course will be coming with, apart from these trainings, two real-time projects. Okay. One with core Java. Okay. The other project would be with core Java along with JDBC, along with React or JSP, Servlet JSP. Okay. So the reason I'm saying React or Servlets and JSP is that, okay, we'll discuss this when we go to the course content. Let's not, you know, think about this here. Apart from that, let's say you miss a particular session today, okay, because of whatever your personal work or whatever. So there will be recordings available for you. Okay, you can go through the yesterday's session and go through the recording, and those recordings will be available for you lifetime. We are going to give them lifetime access. So you can just come back and listen to those sessions, practice sessions whenever you want, right? So for the registrations, these are the contact numbers that you can reach out. Okay. Uh, those numbers will be provided to you via chat and they will be available on the website. Okay. Now, along with this particular core Java course, obviously, when you are trying to develop a particular application with Java or Python or any programming language, you need to have some kind of a database knowledge as well, right? So what we are doing here is we are giving a complimentary course for Oracle. Okay. This will give you an introduction to the Oracle, okay, and how to write all the queries that is required for your application building approach, right? Subqueries, correlated subqueries, joins, left joins, right joins, outer joins, okay, using the different operators in Oracle, okay. All these recordings will be available and it will be given as a complimentary to whoever who are subscribing to this particular course. So these are the available recordings. You guys can go and listen to them. Okay, these are also available to you guys lifetime free access if you can subscribe to this particular core and advanced Java training. And you guys can learn the database, especially Oracle, in parallel. Okay. All right. Let me start with the real course. Okay. So we have already given the introduction about the organization. Okay. Let's go to Java. I think we have already discussed this. Let's go to the course details for a moment. Okay. Although we named this course as Core Java and Advanced Java, okay, along with Core Java and Advanced Java, we are going to get you trained on the front-end technologies also. Okay. What we are going to focus on is HTML5, not just HTML, HTML5. Because if you are working on technologies like React or BootStrap, okay, HTML5 is mandatory for them. Just having HTML knowledge does not really help you guys. So we are going to teach you HTML5, JSP, JavaScript, CSS, and Bootstrap, along with Core Java and Advanced Java. Then you guys might ask, like, what's the point of learning servlets? Okay, nobody is going to use servlets these days. But if you want to work on any kind of frameworks like Spring or Spring Boot, you may not use the servlets directly, but all those frameworks are designed on servlets. Okay, so without learning servlets, you just can't go and work on any other frameworks in the Java and J2EE world. Okay, so before I move on to then, I just want to make sure like everybody is able to hear me clearly. You guys can just give a thumbs up or type in chat if everything is good. Any issues? No, right? Cool. Good to know that. Let me move on. Okay. The next point is like, why do you guys need to choose us? Right? As I mentioned earlier, the first point is a repetition. We are not here to teach you about the textbook knowledge. We are here to, okay, give you the practical approach. And the obvious question is like, what is that you guys are offering here, right? In Raj Informatica or Raj Cloud Technologies, the people who are teaching you are not teachers or lecturers. Okay. They are the ones who are already working in the industry. Okay. They know what's the buzzword. It's not just about buzzword. They have been working 24/7 for the last decade in the industry. Okay. They know in and out about a particular technology they are teaching. Okay. They know what is missing in the people who are coming into the industry. Okay. So they can fill up the gaps. Okay. So here we are not here to just give you a particular, let's take core Java. Okay. You don't need someone to teach you about what is class and object. Okay, you don't need someone to teach you what is inheritance or abstraction. You can just go to Google, you can just read about it and get through that definition. But the problem comes when you get into an organization or when you go to a particular interview, how do we use it? Okay. If you go to an interview, if an interviewer asks you, can you explain me what is a polymorphism or what is an abstraction or what is an object? Giving a textbook answer doesn't make you different from other crowd. Okay, you need to know how to work on them in a practical manner. Okay, that is what we are providing here. I hope we are good here. Right, let's move on. Now, why Java? That's a big question. Like, the problem in these days is there are too many options in the industry. Okay, someone will say Java, someone will say Python, someone will say data engineering, someone will say data analytics, someone will say artificial intelligence. What to choose? Okay. So I'm not here to talk about the other technology platform, but all I'm going to talk about here is what is the forecast on the Java? Okay. As all of you know, about 2 decades before, most of the computer applications are developed on mainframes or C or so these languages are not interoperable programming languages. That means if you write a code on a particular machine, okay, there is no guarantee that those programs can run on machines with the different configurations or different operating systems. All of you guys might have already known that Java is the first one which came up with the interoperability over most of the operating systems. Okay. Since then, there is a lot of humongous growth in the Java technology. Most of the industry, accepted and get aligned with the Java development standards. This is just a growth rate that I'm showing up. We are at the end of 2024. Okay. As of now, these are only about US market. Okay. You need to think about not just the US market, even in Asia, Europe, and US together. Okay. By the next year, we are going to reach almost 25 million USD dollars of market. Okay. By the end of 2030, we are going to reach almost $50 million worth market. Okay. That is how big Java is. Now, there are many other programming languages which came and they are competing with Java. Okay, there is no denying it. There is a lot of new technologies that came in. But think about this point. Java has been here for the last 20 years. Okay, Java has proved itself both in terms of security, safety, and easiness with which you write in Java and deploy it anywhere, right? And most of the enterprise applications, okay, let's take a banking application, okay, let's take an application which will manage us, flight reservation systems, train reservation systems. Okay, everywhere you can find Java, even on Android, right? Even in web apps, everywhere, not web apps, Android apps, everywhere you can see Java, and it's not going anywhere in the next 2-3 decades. Okay, of course, there are new programming languages like Python which are competing with Java, but Java always has an edge over these new programming languages. Okay. And these days, the buzzword is cloud, right? I would say Java is the first programming language which adopted the cloud technology. Okay. It's not even Python, I would say. Java is the first one. It doesn't matter which kind of a cloud technology you are using. You may use Azure, you may use GCP, you may use AWS. Okay. Everywhere Java will be there. Okay. Now, one more important thing that came up is these days microservices. Okay. It may be too advanced for now, but I would like to explain you guys in briefly. Microservices is what we are going to do is, let's say you have a IRCTC web application. Okay. In IRCTC web application, you can book tickets. Okay, you can book what kind of food items that you want, right? So it is a gigantic application, IRCTC. By using microservices, what we do is we will slice up all those functionalities. Okay, we are going to write a separate application to display the available tickets for a user. We are going to write a separate application, to make a particular user select a particular train, okay, and select a particular seat. So what we are going to do is, for every small actions that you are doing on a particular enterprise application, we are going to write a separate service. By doing this, what we can achieve is performance. Okay, there is a gigantic improvement in the performance by using microservice architecture. And Java is the first one which started supporting microservice architecture. Okay. Before I do the introduction to the Java, I would like to give a walkthrough to you guys on the curriculum or the topics that we are going to train you guys. Let me share that. Okay. Hope you are able to see a particular Google document. Okay. This is the course content. I just want to give a walkthrough to you guys and make you sure that you guys know what you are learning here. Okay. Now, we are taking an approach that most of you guys are very new to the programming language. Okay. Some of you might come with some kind of expertise in the industry, maybe a QA person. Okay, QA means testing. These days, who are into the testing, even they need to learn the programming languages, especially Java, because these days are, if you are really into a manual testing, okay, you can say goodbye to your career. Okay, nobody is going to value a manual tester. You need to learn the automation, right? If you want to learn the automation, let's say you want to learn a simple tool like Selenium, you need to have the core Java knowledge. Okay, you may not need to write a complete enterprise application using Java, J2E, and all the frameworks. But if you want to be an automation tester, you need to have a core Java knowledge. Okay, so for the people who are coming freshly out of the colleges, or the people who want to, move from any kind of a background to Java development, okay, this is the course. It is going to help, give them heads up. We are assuming that you guys does not have any kind of a programming background. Okay, with that assumption, we are going to make sure we will start with the Java fundamentals. Okay, and we'll make sure that you understand the differentiation between JDK and JRE. Okay, and then we'll jump into the keywords, identifiers, initializations, variables, starting from writing a small lines of code, okay, how to define a variable, how to initialize a variable, okay. From there, we are going to start. Everything will be in a practical approach. Correct. Core Java is used for backend work. That's true. Okay. So usually what happens is, good that at least somebody asked a question finally. So what happens is, these days, 10 years before, what used to happen is they are going to write the web applications in such a manner that everything will be in a single application. Okay. Backend services will be written in Java. Okay. Whatever the front end pages that you are, reading or watching, they will be written in either using JSP or HTML or any other JavaScript framework. Okay. But now what's happening is everything is completely divided. Okay. A particular person can be a simple backend developer. If you don't like really, working on UI, you can just learn Java and Java frameworks. You can be a backend developer. Okay. But here we are not focusing on making you a backend developer alone. In this course, what we are trying to do is we want to make you a full stack developer, right? I myself started as a backend developer. Okay. And there is a lot of demand in the full stack. So it is always better to have some knowledge on the front end also. That's the reason why we included, okay? That's the reason why we included HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and BootStrap. Okay. We are going to spend some time on JSP, but frankly, I don't think anybody is using JSP these days. But it is better to have some knowledge. But you guys need to focus more on HTML5, JavaScript, okay, and CSS and Bootstrap. Bootstrap, we are going to cover the fundamentals, okay, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and Bootstrap. So as I mentioned, like there will be two projects. One project will be only using Core Java. The other project will be using in combination of Core Java and the front-end technologies. Okay. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to ping in the chat. Right. So after we are good with the syntaxes, what we are going to do is we are going to start with the statements and loops, if else, switch, while, and for loop. Okay. And then we'll jump into the methods, writing the methods and object-oriented programming languages. Now, the biggest problem that I found with the people is when it comes to the object-oriented programming concepts, most of the people does not really pay attention. Okay, they think it is just some kind of a definitions that we need to learn. Okay, what is inheritance? What is encapsulation? What is polymorphism? If you learn the definition, that should be fine. This is the misconception most of the people have, especially when they are learning Java or Python. It's a big no. Okay, you need to have a practical approach to the inheritance when you are writing classes. when you are implementing inheritance, okay, when you are extending a class, you should know why you are doing that. Why you need to extend a particular class? Why not just write an interface and implement it? Okay, those are the kind of questions that you need to ask yourself instead of just going through the concepts. Okay, and after that, we are going to handle the exceptional handling. Exception handling is the mechanism where um, you will concentrate on how to handle the errors in your application. Okay, and then we'll move on to the strings, we'll move on to the objects and collections. This is the most important concept in the core Java. If you do not have a practical approach on the collections, okay, you are good for nothing, I'm telling you. You need to know in and out of the collections, especially how to use lists, how to use sets, how to use maps, how to sort a particular list. Okay. When you talk about sorting, it's not just about sorting a set of numbers. Okay. You'll have a different objects and you need to sort the collections based on the objects. How to compare two objects, how to sort the collections. Okay. We are going to give you a practical approach. Every session will have a working examples, okay, which is done before you, and you will be given assignments. Okay, you need to come back with the solutions. If there is an issue that you guys face, okay, the next session will definitely we will sit with you and we'll concentrate on that problem solving rather than just completing the course. Okay. Now, after that, we'll move to threads. When it comes to threads, what happens is, from the industry point of view, it is always good to have some knowledge on threads. Okay. But nobody is going to write a thread on his own when you are writing an application, because most of the threading will be taken care either by your, cloud enterprise, cloud environment or the application servers. Okay, so it's always better to have a knowledge on the threads, but don't think too much about threads, I would say. The only reason you need to learn threads is when you go to interviews, most of the people do focus on threads. Okay, but in real time, in the last 14 years, I have never wrote a threading program in my career. Okay, but it's always good to have some knowledge on that. After threads, we'll dig into the JDBC. Now, most of the people might think that, JDBC is very old thing, very old technology. Why do we need to learn JDBC? Yes, it is true. It is very old technologies. These days, nobody is using JDBC in the industry. But there are frameworks like Hibernate and JPA. Okay. If you want to work on them, you should have knowledge on JDBC. If you don't understand about JDBC, you are not going to understand those frameworks. Okay. So that's the reason why you should have an end-to-end knowledge on JDBC. Okay. Now, after studying the JDBCs, this is where we will come to servlets and JSP. Okay. Same the case with servlets. Just like JDBC, servlets is also very old technology. But all the new technologies and frameworks that we have in Java these days, everything is built on servlet. You are using Spring Framework or you are using Spring Boot. Okay. Everything is built on the servlet. So we are going to cover servlets and JSP. Once we are done with this, we are going to cover HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and BootStrap. All right. So this is the explanation that I wanted to give you guys, what you are going to learn here. Okay. And all the concepts that we are going to cover. Let me go back to the presentation. So I would like to open up. I think I spoke enough of. Now I would like to ask you guys come up with the questions if you have, so that I can answer your doubts. The the stage is ready for the questions. You guys can just ask me questions if you have any. You guys any questions? Okay, looks like nobody is asking questions. I just want to give small heads up and we can wrap up the discussion for today. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, um, this is a website, and I mentioned to you guys some of the uh, other courses like Oracle that we are going to give you as a complimentary when you enroll for this course. So all those recordings will be you can find in this particular YouTube channel. Okay, you can come here. There are lots and loads of videos for almost all the technologies that are available here. Okay, you can just come to this particular channel, Raj Informatica. You can go through all the videos and all recordings. Where is it chart? I'm not getting the logics when we write programs. Okay, what kind of logics you are referring to? What kind of a logic? Okay, here is what I would say about the logics. Okay, you don't need to be a talented guy to learn a particular programming language. All you need is spend some time on it. Okay, this is one more thing. So when you write a particular logic, the biggest problem that I have seen with the people who are out of college and freshers is that they don't know how to debug a particular code that they are writing. That's a one big problem with them. Okay. So when you write a particular code, if your logic is not working, the best thing that you need to do is you need to debug your code. Okay. That's one more thing that we are going to concentrate here. Okay, it's not just about giving you assignments. It's not just about executing the programs. It's not just about executing the applications. Okay, you are asking for two projects as part of these 2 months of course. This is a project that we are giving you. Yeah, go and have a good day. No, that's not the approach we are going to do. Okay, if there is some logic that is not working, you need to put it on paper and then you need to go and debug your code. Okay, unless you debug your code, you are never ever going to get good with your logistic thinking. Okay, does that answer your question? Cool. Anybody has any other questions? All right. Looks like uh, we have covered all the questions that participants to ask. I think we are good here. Thank you all for joining the session. And I hope you guys, I hope I'll meet some of you guys in the training program. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.